Pablo Escobar. Arrested in Medellin, Colombia in connection with drug crimes. 1977. Kurt Cobain. Arrested in Aberdeen, Washington for trespassing onto the roof of an abandoned warehouse while intoxicated. May 25, 1986. Rosa Parks. Arrested for her role in the boycott of segregated buses in Montgomery, Alabama. February 22, 1956. Johnny Cash. Arrested in El Paso, Texas for carrying hundreds of pep pills and tranquilizers in his luggage across the border as he returned from a trip to Juarez, Mexico. October 4, 1965. Joseph Stalin. Arrested by the Tsarist secret police in St. Petersburg for revolutionary activities. 1911. Charles Manson. Arrested in connection with the August 9, 1969 murders of actress Sharon Tate and 4 others at her home in Los Angeles. December 2, 1969. Manson was convicted of murder and conspiracy to commit murder and remains in prison to this day. Martin Luther King Jr. Arrested for his role in the boycott of segregated buses in Montgomery, Alabama. February 24, 1956. Jim Morrison. Several years before he became the frontman of The Doors, Morrison was arrested in Tallahassee, Florida and charged with petty larceny, public intoxication, disturbing the peace, and resisting arrest after drunkenly stealing a cop's helmet and then not going quietly once he was caught. September 28, 1963. Frank Sinatra. Arrested in Hackensack, New Jersey on charges of adultery and seduction for carrying on with a married woman. November 26, 1938. Bill Gates. Arrested for driving without a license and failing to stop at a stop sign. December 13, 1977. Lee Harvey Oswald. Arrested for the murder of President John F. Kennedy in Dallas, Texas. November 23, 1963. Tupac Shakur. Shakur poses for a mug shot for the New York State Department of Corrections after his conviction for the sexual abuse of a female fan in November 1993. March 8, 1995. O.J. Simpson. Arrested, following a car chase, for the murder of his wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ronald Goldman in Brentwood, California. June 17, 1994. John Wayne Gacy. Arrested in his hometown of Norwood Park, Illinois, where he killed at least 33 people between 1972 and 1978. December 22, 1978. Sid Vicious. Arrested in New York for the murder of his girlfriend, Nancy Spungen. December 8, 1978. The Sex Pistols bassist died of a drug overdose, some say intentionally, before he could stand trial, and the police subsequently dropped the case. Larry King. Arrested in Miami, Florida on charges of grand larceny after stealing $5,000 from a business partner. December 20, 1971. Vladimir Lenin. Arrested in St. Petersburg for revolutionary Marxist activities. December 21, 1895. Steve McQueen. Arrested for arrest for drunk driving and speeding on in Anchorage, Alaska. June 22, 1972. Jimi Hendrix. Arrested for narcotics possession at Toronto International Airport. May 3, 1969. John Dillinger. March 9, 1934. The Depression-era gangster served time for assault, robbery, and murder before dying in a shootout with police in Chicago on July 22, 1934. Benito Mussolini. Arrested on suspicion of being an anarchist at age 20 in Bern, Switzerland. June 19, 1903. Malcolm X. Arrested in Boston, Massachusetts at age 18 on charges of larceny. November 1944. John Gotti. Arrested in New York on a slate of charges, including murder, loan sharking, and tax evasion, that would soon land the mafia boss in prison for the rest of his life. December 11, 1990. David Berkowitz, aka Son of Sam. Arrested in Yonkers, New York in connection with the serial killings of 6 people. August 11, 1977. He was ultimately convicted of murder and remains in prison to this day. Jane Fonda. Arrested for drug smuggling and kicking a policeman during the scuffle at an airport in Cleveland, Ohio. November 3, 1970. However, the actress/anti-war activist was only carrying vitamins, not illegal drugs, and insists that she was targeted by the Nixon White House because of her anti-establishment political convictions. Jeffrey Dahmer. Arrested in Milwaukee in connection with a string of brutal rapes, killings, and dismemberments that ultimately left 17 dead. July 23, 1991. Dahmer was soon convicted and sent to prison, where a fellow inmate killed him on November 28, 1994. Charles "Lucky" Luciano. The notorious gangster, known for being the father of the mafia in America, poses after being arrested for assault in New York. February 2, 1931. Ted Bundy. Held in Florida in connection with a string of brutal serial killings that would ultimately tally at least 30 throughout the 1970s. February 13, 1980. Bundy was convicted several times over and eventually executed at Rayford Prison in Stark, Florida, on January 24, 1989. Benjamin "Bugsy" Siegel. The infamous gangster poses while being held in New York. February 12, 1928. Mick Jagger. Arrested along with Rolling Stones bandmate Keith Richards for attacking a paparazzo and obstructing a police officer who intervened in Warwick, Rhode Island. July 18, 1972. Hugh Grant. Arrested after receiving oral sex from a prostitute in his car in Los Angeles. June 27, 1995. Al Capone. Arrested as he was trying to enter Miami, Florida by city police who were trying to keep the notorious gangster out. May 8, 1930.